Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with me. And today I want to share with you the story, my teeth story. So um, I start from the beginning, and this is going to be done in a few parts because I go from my childhood all the way up to today. And I'm sharing this story again because I done few mistakes, and I hope some people will come across those messages and learn from it something and avoid the mistakes I made. But in the end, if you don't, that's okay because in the end of the day, um, whatever mistakes we make, it's we just have to deal with it and don't let them to break us. Just to learn how to adapt, adjust, and how to live with it. So my biggest problem, if I can call it that, the one was that I had big fear of pain. I still don't like pain at all. I avoid it at all costs. Maybe not all, but I have my limits as far as I can go to avoid certain situations. I have a ethics and I follow love. So, that make big impact on all my decisions. Well, where I start. So I wanted to address first, there was no education about oral hygiene. It was just like something you hardly know it exists. All we got was toothbrush, toothpaste to clean your teeth. They didn't even tell us after the food, just in the morning when you wake up, clean your teeth, and at night before you go to bed. So, you know, and also we wasn't taught how to properly clean our teeth. But I will address that as I go. So go back to the early childhood. I have a brother who is only 1 year older than me. So I could see already, even we come from the same kind of genetical makeup and not too far apart, that almost year apart. And I mean, I don't want to get into this. I can't get into numbers. So anyway, I observed already when I was little kid, I noticed my food preferences are very different from my brother's. My brother, he ate more like my father, and I ate more like me because nobody ate in the family the way I had because we all have to eat the same thing what was cooked by my mom, but what is going to be eaten was the the decisions about that was made by my father. It wasn't like he said, today we're going to have a this and this, but there was certain meals he would only accept and the rest of it he would refuse. So if me or my mom wanted something extra, we will have to just make it next. make, so to speak, two meals, one for the boys, one for the girls. And and that was happening that often, especially because I used to pressure my mom. Often I pressure her to make, say, potato and spinach and just eggs. And if I beg her enough, she will make it. And because she liked that kind of food too, she would eat it. So, but that was rare. And this is topic about eating, but I still need to address food because food definitely also plays very important role in our health of our mouth. Make sure our teeth are clean and to know how to take care of them also with the diet. So, because my brother's diet was so different from mine, so much more heavy, so much more meat, plus he wasn't very keen on fresh produce at all, especially when he started drinking alcohol as very young kid, about 9, 10 years old. And that's what I learned later on too in my life when I become adult, when I started drinking alcohol. I lost, not lost fully, but my appetite for a healthy food, that means fresh produce, mainly fruit, was really low, much lower. I was more attracted to those salty, fatty, uh, and bread and just things when I ate them, my body suffered, plus alcohol. So what happened? My brother, he had big pain. He suffered big pain with his teeth already when he was like 7 years old. I never had that. And my brother suffered with pain uh, often. And over there, it was dealt with in a way that they give you painkiller. And next time the pain returns, they will give you painkiller. And they will keep doing it till the pain for a person is unbearable and they go to dental emergency. And this was very common procedure with my brother. Um, I never had a problem with my teeth yet. When we go every 6 months with our class to the dentist, they always did something there. And I never felt, you notice every little tiny difference in your mouth. Even the hair, it's just that's so annoying, it's so tiny. Anything, doesn't matter how tiny it is, extra in your mouth, it's kind of you notice it and you wanna get it out. So it's like I couldn't feel I have any hole or anything or pain, any discomfort, nothing with gums, nothing with teeth. but they will always have to, with this metal little hooks and things. To, to me, it's like go to torture room, all that environment. And anyway, so they are always in my teeth with those funny metal, ugly tools. And uh, I think they were actually damaging my gums, getting like in there and making it painful for me. And it was sick. And so for me was very stressful day because we have to be there all day because all class sits in one waiting room. We can't go even out in the park. There was opposite building was park with seesaws and stuff. Do you think they let us go and wait in there? No. We have to sit in that smelly, um, they come and clean the floor every like few hours there with this smelly solution, which also the smell of it made me sick. Till today, this kind of environment makes me sick. True is here in Australia, the smell of such the places are not so strong as it was back when I was kid, in that different countries. So that's just like that bleak kind of, but worse than bleak smell. Anyway, I got carried away in that room. It was just like for me, it was like being in a horror movie, scary um, nightmare. I'm sure I didn't sleep well day before because we know they let us know to weeps our heads because they know we all. And before we go in a class, we check our mouth. The kids, every kid was asking some other kid, check me if you see something, there's something. Nobody ever see anything, but we all get at least something done to us. Whatever it was, nobody told us. The doctors have very authority, yeah, have a big authorities, and there is no friendly or smile or anything personal, anything like on those lines. It's just they hardly look at you, they treat you like, sit down here, open your mouth, and it's like with that sooty face, like no like human approach. It's just like no some really badly constructed robot, that authoritarian, about how you say it, person. Yes, scary, scary. I have a feeling they want us to be scared. The way how it was that system, it was growing the fear inside us, and it's true. But I realized that only later on in a life, because true is, if you live in certain environment and you born in it, you don't see much different. So you not take it, even if you don't take it as normal, even if you can't relate to it, you still don't know what's out there. You still don't know how to be yourself because you're not allowed to be yourself. And like you know how to be yourself, but you have to hide it. That's what I tried to say. You can't show it fully because you would not be accepted, you would be constantly from everybody harassed, including police. That happened to me, but we're talking now about the thief. So that's how unpleasant it was. So just going back in those days, I'm turning into this, start quoting in a negative, on a negative wavelength, try to say some other negative thing from my past. So let's stick it to the thief. So it was definitely not easy for anybody. And I never met anybody in my life who would say, I really enjoy go to dentist. Tomorrow I'm going. Yay. Never. It's always, oh, tomorrow I have to go to dentist. Anyhow, so I experienced my brother really crying, and the older he was getting, the more pain in his, more pain with his teeth. He was suffering, and I remember how I always felt sorry for him because, all and all, he was always more sick than me because he loved that meat more and more as he grew up. And already when he was 8 years old, he was like a real man, the meat and heavy meals and putting me down, making me belittling me because doesn't matter if you look on TV shows or at school or anywhere, what I observed as the women are always must be a little bit lower than men. It goes even with the man who is like open-minded and have that idea that, yeah, men should do this and this, what have you, till once it's come to the crunch, the man always have to be above because that's how we brought up. That's what's ingrained into us. The women are being submissive and servants, and man is the boss. He's the strong, he knows it best, he protects, he provides. That's what he was told. He is. So naturally he feels above. But I would not have a problem with it personally if there is no abuse involved in that belittling somebody just because they are not certain gender. So, I have a grandfather, but I didn't knew the other one. My father, my brother, all men at school, all teachers at school, all of them. Any male I ever met, I lived with, I was friends with, whatever, whatever. But I'm today have to go to back to peace again. So the nurses were also scary and not very friendly in any way. It's all like cold and dark and scary, especially for little kids. But for me, it was scary till today. Of course, not as scary, but still very unpleasant experience. So what happened? I have never toothache. I never felt hole in my any of my teeth since I was like 24. True is, even before I turned 18, I used to drink alcohol occasionally, maybe from like 16-year-old, but that was very rare occasions. That's and it was like one beer, nothing like getting really drunk and whatever. I was going to school and it was anyway different story again. So, but my first toothache was about when I was 24, 23, 24, 24, more like 25, 25. Yeah, and but before that, I forgot one thing. When I was about 10-year-old, 11, 10, we went with the class to the dentist and they told me I have some problem there and I have to come back on my own. I was like big enough, I was doing everything on my own. I was, anyway, so there was one day I got from school to, to leave and I went to see the dentist. It was on the end last out of the class in school. So it was afternoon. I went there. I don't know what they done to me. I don't remember nothing. I remember only the way home. It was almost kilometer because the dentist was all the way on the other side of village. And from my home, and I suffered. I felt so weak, so sick. I was throwing up during that walk at least 4 times. I was definitely poisoned or something. Oh, but I had a pain too. And so I have to stop. It was lucky it wasn't in some city, it was in a village. I knew the whole village, every little place. So when I start feeling like throwing up, I always look for some green, next to the tree or in a where is a lawn around and stuff like this. And I was throwing up going home. I was like sick. I remember I couldn't go to school next day and it fully knocked me off, whatever it was. And that experience alone made me even more scared to go to dentist. So each time we have to go with school, I suffer more than before. And then when I had, when I was 13, I had a car accident that was on the end of the year. So even when I was 13-year-old, I had to go twice to dentist. But then I didn't go dentist from 13 to 15 because where I was in a different places after my car accident, I uh, I would how you call it? I would no go to dentist. So, but when I was 15, I went to another place and I went there for 6 months and they send me to dentist. I didn't ask them to. I had no teeth problem or anything. They just decided. I obviously didn't have the dental care in a uh, checkup uh, for a few years, maybe two. It was 2 years, yeah. Oh no, they said we have to fix this, and they send me to dentist. As always, it was very difficult for me, and as always, I suffered, and even I didn't feel any pain or any difference in my mouth. They drilled, start drilling between two front teeth. But I was not expert. I didn't know nothing about dentistry or not information really about how to really take care of my teeth or what's no information about nothing. So, I just what you do, you just you let them you I surrender, I didn't have a choice. I have to obey. So that was strange. And since that time I started having problems. Not straight away, but within a year or two, I started having problems with another tooth in here. Maybe that was the one which I got so sick, they done to me something when I was about 11. That was it. That was the year. I remember, yeah. And so it was here and here. I noticed, like in Slovakia, for example, or in Asia, where they chew on those betel nuts and stuff, or whatever they call it, the people losing teeth. And I noticed in most cases, it's the front top ones. That's usually the first ones when people start losing the teeth, they losing. And that's the first teeth, one of the first of my teeth, which were tampered with here. And here when we chew mouth. And here we hardly chew, yet the problems were the same. It's also curious, so many teeth, and one get bad and the rest of it is good. But yeah, I still don't know much about the nature of our teeth. So when I was 18, no, even earlier, then I went to boarding school. I finished my, uh, how they call it, mandatory school. Then I went to school higher up, and normally I would be 15, but because my accident, I lost whole year. So I was already 16 when I entered that school, and all of us from then on, we made a decision when we go to doctors. So you can imagine, I never went either. I didn't go to any doctors. I have no reason. But then the reason arrived, and I was 25 years old, and I started having problem. I was getting the hot and cold water here, or hot and cold, anything. It was, that not pleasant feeling. I forgot how it was, but I know it was unpleasant, bearable, but unpleasant. And he keep drinking. So each time he drink, each time I drank, I felt that discomfort. So I mentioned it to few people, and one of them, my friend, she was like working in the health field as a nurse. She knew some things because not every information from a mainstream is fully wrong. The problem is they give you some true and something wrong, and now you can swim in it and make your mind. I let my body decide that. Anyhow, so she told me if I don't take care of it, the tooth will get worse. And if I'm going to carry bad teeth in my mouth for too long, I'm going to develop from it other health problems. I didn't want to have a health problems, so I was thinking about to go to dentist, but the fear was so huge, it was holding me back. Always that magic word appear. Tomorrow, you can do it tomorrow. Don't worry about till today. Today you feel too upset about it. You can do it tomorrow, and so on. So of course that's what I was doing. But maybe in 6 months, 1 year later, the tooth was getting worse. I was start getting some pain, and there was there was hole, and I didn't like how the food was getting in it, and it was just giving me hassle. So I spoke to my friend about it, and she said, you know, you can lose your tooth so young. That's a shame. And she said, I have a friend, he's a dentist, and I ask her, and she will take you. She's very nice, and she will be really gentle with you and everything. And she will give you injections, and she will treat you with the real care. We, I go to her too. And I went to her. It took me another, 2, 3 months to really get there. But in the end, I did. And this dentist, she told me she's scared of dentists. And she told me she's doing her own teeth. This is incredible. So he makes me even more scared now of the dentist because she was dentist who didn't trust dentist. So I'm going to trust dentist in the future even more. She made me, she feeded that fear with this information. Anyway, yeah, I didn't suffer much pain during the procedure, what have you, but it was still very unpleasant. And she told me come back, and I didn't. She did something, and it's supposed to have some follow-up work, which I didn't follow because again my fear, and if I didn't get bad pain, I would not go to dentist. Only that there was bad pain, and I, it wouldn't go. I go to that. In the meantime, I moved to another place, and so I lived there another year. I lived there already maybe year, so year and a half about later after that procedure, whatever it was, I supposed to follow up. And I didn't. The tooth told me, hello, I am here, and I'm going to give you really hard time because you didn't do what you're supposed to do, blah, 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 blah. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I didn't own it because the pain. I prayed, I read the Bible, but nothing helped. The tooth said, just go. You don't have a choice. So I done it. It was lady, which helped because the men's always come more like in that country, not here. That was over that, the men like to show, especially when he has some authority over you. And so that was for me bit relief. And so she looked at it, she fixed it, and then she went to this. And she said, oh, we have to look at this too. We have to take an X-ray. Me like sheep, fully like didn't know better. I went and she started messing up here. And it was scary. And so I went to the X-ray. Oh, I went her once with this after, and she said, oh, it's so bad, and you have to have a special procedure. I don't know how it's called. And I said to her, and I'm going to get injection. No. And I said, and I'm going to, I think they were giving injections only for pulling the teeth out. Anyway, she said, no, no injection. I said, well, I won't have it unless you put me through. I want to have how people go on an operation. That I was demanding that. And she said, no, we can't do that. No way. So I said, at least make this dead. Give me that injection. No. And she wrote me appointment to come next time for this torturous experience. I wake up in the middle of the night, the night, the next morning I supposed to go to that appointment. And the fear, and I realized, oh my God, tomorrow I'm going to dentist for this, whatever she's going to do to me. And I so freaked out from it. Whole my body starts shaking. Uncontrollably, I shake. That never happened to me before. And that freaked me out too. But the fear was so big that it wasn't as big concern to me that I'm all shaking as the fact that I have to go in the morning to some painful procedure at the dentist. So and suddenly it came to me and I said, don't worry, you just want to go. You don't need to go. You don't because I had no pain yet. You don't need to go to dentist tomorrow. Just don't go and that's okay. Soon as I gave myself permission, I realized actually I have that power. I don't need to go. I don't have to go. If I feel like this, I don't have to go. I fully calm down, I lie down, and I slept like a baby. I was about 26 years old. 26. That was good time. But somebody messed it up for me, not one person. That was government related, but that's a different story. So I think I started having my teeth problems later on after like this when I was around 25 because I started drinking when I was about, as I said, 17. That wasn't much. 18 was more. And, you know, young people, we have a visitors, it's drink and food, and we go to cinema. Before cinema, munchies. After cinema, I have a drink, you know, maybe some another little or even big munchies. Again, in restaurants. Mind you, I would eat usually just potatoes, just boiled potatoes with a bit butter on it. That was when I ate everything. Or salads. They made good salads in a restaurant, which I like. So I will just have a salad or egg or potato. But the problem with me was sitting in that smoky rooms. They were smoking. Everybody was smoking then everywhere. And drinking alcohol because, you know, that's not good for anybody. And that alcohol, I already said it, I think today changed my taste for not so healthy food. The, the zest for the freshness low down, and I start eating. I give you example. When I come home from some drinking thing, or people was drinking at my place, I used to do this Fre- French toast. So that's the bread soaked with egg, and it's fried in the oil. And if you fry bread, it drinks the oil. On that, I put sunny side up, two of them. And on that, I will put like whatever I have, like pickles, you know, the gherkins and tomatoes and raw onion. And normally, when if I wasn't drunk or didn't have alcohol that day, I would never eat that thing. So that's just an example. And I believe that's why around 25, my teeth was making problems. I already, I don't remember it, but I have drilled as child, they drill. Even I never felt any pain, any hole, any discomfort. I have most of those teeth drilled, some of those, and also this one when I was 15. And then this one, I had problems when I was, started having problems when I was 25. And this one followed. And so in the end, I went to that dentist. I was so afraid to go. And when I was ready without appointment, I just rocked in because we didn't make appointment. Only the dentist can give you appointment if they want to follow up once you come in first time. But otherwise, you just go there and wait in the waiting room till is your time. This time with any other doctors. Only I think if you go to specialist, you may have an appointment, but not sure about that one. Yeah, and because so I went that procedure, I lived through it. Of course, I suffer, but I have a friend there with me and holding my hand, not in a surgery itself that was not allowed. Like here, you can take your friend inside, but not before, not over there, and that in the waiting room. And when I got out, I got this support, that you can hold somebody's hand and tell them how you suffer and they take you home. So this is also with my brother. He always have a big problems with the teeth all his life. They were forever fixing his teeth. Me, I never had a big problems really, but there were problems. But when it went really bad, I always went to dentist. In next video, I will share with you how I left to communism. Not that story, but how I escaped it. But I will give you the story what happened, my tooth story from the time I arrived to Australia till today. Because I came here as political refugee and I am pleased I choose this country. I choose it only because all I know there is a all year round summer-like weather. There's warm and the flowers flowering all year around in a garden, unless you're in a snowy mountains. And that's all I knew about Australia, only because I knew somebody who had somebody here already. Anyhow, I hope this gave you some insight of what is going on with me, and this will give you more understanding why and what happened in the future with my teeth. So I hope that can be max 3 parts. I hope to put it only in 2 parts. I try to make it more. Oh, I don't know. Smudge that I didn't say that. I did, but I don't want it there. So I going say goodbye to you. I'm doing okay. It's not always the same, but I think I coming out a bit more again, and I was down for last 3 weeks, so it was about time I start picking up, and things are happening, lot of good things happening for me, and I thank you. You give me a lot of love and support, which helps me my way to my recovery, and I help you for being here with me, for me. I am very well aware of you. Now more I'm talk to you, I feel more like, I really know you better and read your comments. And because of your comments, that's what I try to say. And it's just really beautiful to have this beautiful group, which it makes my day if somebody tell me, the video helped them in any way, or they just enjoyed to watch it, or what have you, or they looking for next one. It means world to me. That gives me also a lot of good positive energy and the will to keep going. I will keep going anyway, even with the videos. I believe I have lot to share, but sometimes when the negativity sometimes arrive and say, "Why are you doing it for? You better off in a garden." But then when I feel better, I this is what I really want to do for many years. You will hear about my history with the raw food community. You will hear it all. I am in this fruitarian lifestyle 40 years. I believe I have a lot to share. And I wish you all only the best. And the best in my books is the love. So I wish you as much love possible. It's all surround you. And I wish you are able to give and receive love easily. And if not, look into it. I think it's worthwhile because the life with love, which embrace everything, is beautiful life. It's peaceful life. It's inside. It feels good. There is no guilt. There is no revenge. There is no hate. There is no, how we call it, jealousy. You know, just love. There can be a bit of anger. That's no good. Not like anger, like more like disappointment when there is big disagreement and it carries on. But anyway, I'm carrying on. I should stop. I'm saying goodbye. So anyway, cultivate love in your heart. And if you want to be happy in your life, if you want to feel great within yourself, follow the love. And till next time, I wish you all the best. I think I said that already, but I can say it to you million times. For million times, I'm telling you all the best. Until next time. I miss you. Till next Friday. Bye.